pale afternoon sun cast long, trembling shadows across the grimy back alley as 10-year-old Leo made his way home from school. His worn-out sneakers scuffed against the uneven cobblestones, a rhythmic counterpoint to the distant city hum. He was lost in his own thoughts, replaying a particularly challenging math problem, when a tiny, pitiful whimper pierced the air. Leo stopped, his head cocking to one side like a curious bird. The sound came again, a fragile cry that tugged at his heartstrings. He scanned the alley, his eyes darting between overflowing bins and stacks of discarded cardboard boxes. He moved, searching for the source with a growing sense of urgency. Finally, behind a particularly large, dented trash can, he saw it. A tiny ball of fluff, the color of milky tea, huddled against the cold brick wall. It was a kitten, no bigger than Leo's hand, its fur matted and eyes wide with fear. "Hey there, little guy," Leo whispered, his voice softening as he approached cautiously. Kitten trembled, its tiny body shaking like a leaf in the wind. "Don't worry," he murmured, extending a hand slowly. "I won't hurt you." Kitten regarded him with large, apprehensive eyes the color of emeralds. Didn't move, seemingly frozen in place. Leo, guided by an instinct he didn't quite understand, continued to speak in low, soothing tones, inching closer until he could gently scoop the tiny creature into his palm. Felt incredibly light, fragile like a bird's egg, warm but shivering. Leo cradled the kitten against his chest, feeling the rapid thrum of its tiny heart against his own. He knew, with a certainty that surprised him, that he couldn't leave it there. "I'm going to take you home," he whispered, his voice filled with a newfound tenderness. "We'll call you Lucky." "Yeah, lucky because you're lucky I found you." Getting Lucky home was an adventure in itself. Leo hid the kitten in his backpack, careful to leave a small opening for air. He walked with a feigned nonchalance, his heart pounding with every creak of the bag. His mom, a woman with a warm smile and a gentle heart, noticed his unusual behavior immediately. "You're awfully quiet, Leo," she said with a gentle tone, her eyes twinkling as she stirred a pot of soup on the stove. "What's in the backpack, sweetie?" she asked softly. Leo hesitated, then sighed. He opened his backpack, revealing the tiny, trembling kitten. "Mom, I found him in the alley," he explained, his voice a little shaky. He was all alone. "I couldn't just leave him there," he pleaded. His mom's initial surprise melted into a soft smile. She was a big animal lover. She knelt down, extending a finger to gently stroke Lucky's head. Kitten, emboldened by her touch, tentatively licked her finger. "He's very small, isn't he?" his mom said softly, a note of concern in her voice. "He's a little one." "He needs special care, Leo." "Are you ready to do that?" she asked with a serious tone, raising an eyebrow. "Yes," Leo exclaimed, his eyes shining with determination. "I will take care of you, Lucky." And so began Lucky's new life. Leo, with his mom's guidance, transformed into a dedicated caretaker. He learned how to bottle feed Lucky with special kitten formula, the tiny creature latching onto the nipple with surprising strength. He created a cozy bed for Lucky in a cardboard box lined with soft blankets, placing it right beside his own bed. The first few weeks were filled with sleepless nights. Lucky would wake up every few hours, his tiny meows echoing in the quiet apartment. Leo would stumble out of bed, his eyes heavy with sleep, to warm the formula and feed his tiny charge. Despite the exhaustion, Leo never complained. He felt a profound sense of responsibility for Lucky, a bond that deepened with every purr, every playful swat of a tiny paw. Lucky, in turn, grew stronger and more confident each day. His fur became soft and glossy, his eyes bright and full of mischief. He would follow Leo around the apartment, a tiny shadow attached to his heels. He would pounce on imaginary foes, chase dust bunnies with fierce determination, and curl up on Leo's lap, purring like a tiny motor. One sunny afternoon, as Leo was doing his homework at the kitchen table, Lucky leaped onto the table, his tail waving like a fluffy banner. He batted at Leo's pen, his emerald eyes sparkling with playful intent. "Hey, you little rascal," Leo said with a soft laugh, scooping Lucky up and nuzzling his fur. "You're supposed to let me study, not distract me, little one," he whispered with a tone of amusement. Lucky responded by licking Leo's nose, his tiny tongue rough against his skin. Leo giggled, feeling a surge of warmth spread through him. He realized that Lucky wasn't just a pet, he was family. As the days turned into weeks and weeks into months, Lucky transformed from a scared, abandoned kitten into a confident, playful cat. He was the king of the apartment, ruling his domain with a gentle paw and a whole lot of charm. He would greet Leo at the door every day, rubbing against his legs and purring loudly. He would sit by the window, watching the world go by with an air of detachment. He would curl up on Leo's bed at night, his soft purrs a soothing lullaby. One evening, as Leo was reading a book in bed with Lucky curled up at his feet, his mom came in to say goodnight. She smiled at the scene before her, at the boy and his cat, bathed in the soft glow of the bedside lamp. "You've done a wonderful job, Leo," she said softly, her voice filled with pride. "You saved Lucky's life and you've given him a loving home," she whispered with a smile. "Well, Mom, Lucky is the best cat in the world," said Leo with a grin. "He not only makes me happy, but you, Dad, and my sister too," said Leo with a wide smile. Leo looked down at Lucky, who was now fast asleep, his tiny chest rising and falling rhythmically. He stroked the cat's soft fur, feeling a deep sense of gratitude. "I'm the lucky one, Mom," he whispered, his voice thick with emotion. "Lucky has brought so much joy into our lives," he admitted. "I am disciplined a lot now to do my tasks. I feel much more responsible and focused," said Leo with a tone of satisfaction. His mom smiled and kissed him on the forehead. "Sweet dreams, my dear," she whispered, switching off the light. As darkness enveloped the room, Leo closed his eyes, the sound of Lucky's gentle breathing a comforting presence beside him. He knew that he had made a friend for life, a friend who had taught him the true meaning of compassion, responsibility, and unconditional love. And in the quiet darkness, he drifted off to sleep, his heart filled with a warmth that only a special bond like theirs could create. Lucky purred softly beside him, a tiny guardian of his dreams. Both of them were lucky indeed. They found a family in each other,